Hey guys, so before the video does start, I just wanted to let you know, in the later parts of the video there will be a bank slot issue. By fixing that, I just decided to take it out. So yeah, go ahead and stay tuned and enjoy the video. Hello everybody, Ghosty here, and today I'm going to be showing you version 1.1 of my cheat engine trainer. Now, to download this, we're going to go ahead and click the link in the description to Mediafire. And once you go ahead and download that, you're going to go ahead and get a zip file right here. Go ahead and extract it, open it up, and we're going to go and open up the cheat engine. Make sure you have cheat engine installed. I will leave a link in the description for Steven Chapman's video on how to download cheat engine. Also, he does lots of game hacking tutorials if you guys ever want to get into game hacking like I had done here. So yeah. Alright, so once we get all this whole menu, we're not going to worry about anything down here just yet. For all these cheats to work, we're going to need to attach the process, so the game, or so cheat engine knows what we're going to be doing. So you can either hit Control P, or you can go ahead and come up here to the top left corner, and then select the process right here. And we're going to go ahead and double click on Borderlands 3. I usually just do application. There's really nothing that matters. You can do it, same thing here if I really wanted to, but I find applications just to be a bit easier. So we can go ahead and double click on that and say keep the current address code list yes. So now that this is all underway, just a couple things to note. If these cheats do not work and they're not activating whenever you try activating them, then close out of the game in the cheat engine trainer completely and load back up. And after that, if they still do not work, then the game has been updated and there are some things that have been changed around the memory. So please let me know of that and I'll get to work on another version of this. So without further ado, let's go ahead and begin. First off, we have a little info tab, just some info about what you can see. Next one, we're going to go ahead and get into all the cheats. So first one is currency/points. We have currency, so we have infinite golden keys. So we can go ahead and enable this right here, and you just gotta left click the little box right there, and then the script will be enabled whenever the little X right there will pop up. So of course, as it says, infinite golden keys, so we're gonna go ahead and come over here to the golden key chest, and we're gonna go ahead and spin one. As you can see, our golden keys did not decrement, so that means the cheat is working. So I can go and say here, so yeah, it's the same amount as I had before. Next one is infinite money and iridium, so I'm going to go ahead and enable that. I'm going to go ahead and come over here to the slot machines real quick because that's the best way to spend money. And sanctuary. Luckily, money and iridium are attached together, so it makes this a bit more easier. So we're going to go ahead and spend some iridium. Doesn't decrement. And we're going to spend some money right here. It doesn't decrement as well, so that means that is working. Now, next one is infinite guardian tokens. Now I'm going to go ahead and enable this real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and come up here to guardian tokens, and we're going to go ahead and spin one. So you can spend as much as you want. Just go ahead and do this. And I have a cheat in here that will make this just a little bit easier. That's going to be coming up in just a couple seconds, so you don't have to spend this many points. Okay, so the next one is infinite skill points. Never goes down. So with this, actually, it kind of runs in vain because it actually decrements by 1, and then it stops decrementing. So as you can see, watch this. So it'll decrement once, and then it won't go down anymore. I don't know why it does that, but it just does. So I'm going to untoggle this. The next one is infinite science currency. Now, this one, if you do not know what science currency is, this is Tannis's. If you go into Tannis's room, this is like the little arcade game that you can play. I'm not going to be showing it because I honestly, it all depends if it's active or not, or if I'm going to have to do the mission. Okay, so it's good. So yeah, I'll go and show you what it does. So as you can see, I've already modded out this. So if you go and say buy booster, and we go ahead and buy something, as you can see, that did not go down, / decrement, so that is working. The next one is max skill rank. Now, for this one, what this basically does is I didn't really know how to name it. So what this basically does is it moves a certain amount or a certain skill into a certain amount. So see this one, if we go to enable this, it'll say it will move 99 into a skill whenever you spend it. If you want to change that number, you can just come into the script, just go and double click this. Don't worry about anything that's going on here. All we're really going to need to worry about is the code right here. Come over here to the move, and then you're going to be looking for the int and then the number. You can change that to however many skills you want moved into that. So, okay, since I have 99 over there, I'm going to go ahead and do that once. And now we can just go ahead and put 99 into whichever ones we can go and put 99 into. Now, if you want this to update, you just gotta, I think, you either can do that to get them just to update, or if they're not updating, spin them, and then quit the main menu. Alright, so the next one, we're going to go ahead and get on to the find options. So, first one is find money and iridium. I'm going to go ahead and wait for it to load. Now, for this one, money and iridium in this game are handled very weirdly. So they don't work, I don't know, they don't work normally. So what you have to do is you either have to gain some or you have to lose some. So I'm going to go to gain some right here. And there we go. Now I have my full money up here. As you can see, it doesn't show this actual amount, but if I go and change this to 1, my money, and then it'll change to 1. The reason why it was just that, because I changed it to a super high number, so it was just fucking ridiculous. So I'm going to go and change that back, and there we go. Okay, the next one is find golden keys. So we're going to go ahead and enable this right here. And I have a little header. The max golden keys is this. So we're going to go into our inventory. Make sure you don't go into anything else besides here, or else the value will not pop up. So it's got to come into here, and the value will pop up. So if you just want to go ahead and copy this real quick, if you really wanted to. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy that. So just saying I didn't have that much. So let's just say I only had 1 gold key. So let's just say I only had 1. Go ahead and spin some. Oh, whoops. I'll have to recopy that. Oh, also, just a quick note. Make sure that you have at least gained one or more of any type of currency, or else this will not work at all. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and disable this. The next one is find guardian tokens. I'm going to wait for that to enable. And again, if it does not enable, go ahead and exit out of the game and the cheat engine table and reload everything. So find guardian tokens. So we're going to go ahead and say reload. We're going to go ahead and spin one, or sorry, not spin one. We're going to go in or out of our inventory. So in and out. And it'll pop up our value if you want to go ahead and change that. Next one is find guardian bonus stats. And now this is what I was saying that was going to make the guardian tokens doing all of that a lot easier. So if we go ahead and wait for this to load real quick, it's going to bring up lots of values. Don't worry about what any of this says. All you're going to need to do is just go into your menu right here, and it'll pop up all the values right here. Of course, I had a little note right here. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. Next one is find guardian reward amounts. What I mean by this is I don't really know what to call it since it just said guardian rewards. So basically, it's basically just these 3. There's really no use for this. I just thought, fuck it, why not? So we're going to go in and out of our inventory. Or sorry, we're going to go into our inventory, and then it'll pop up the values right here. Alright, the next one is find skill amount. So I'm going to go ahead and enable this. This one's kind of, I don't know, a lot more remote than the other one. It's just another way that you can do it. So if you just want to go and hover over it to get the value to pop up, then you can just go ahead and come over here, and you'll be able to change it to whatever you want. Say if I just wanted to change it to 2, and out of inventory, and then like that. Okay, so we're going to disable that. The next one is find skill points. So we're going to go over to our skill points real quick. If I can find it. Okay, so this one's a bit weird. Of course, we're going to have to, well, what I found you have to do is just spin one. Oh, sorry, not spin one. We're going to go in and out of your inventory. So in and out. And then it will pop up the value right here. So yeah, that's how you do skill points. And for the science currency, all you really have to do is just come up here, and then I found a way to, whenever you hit the boosters option, so let me go and show you just real quick as I get into here. Wait for it to load. I'm going to go ahead and enable the script real quick. So say find science currency. Once you go into buy booster, You can go ahead and do that, and it'll pop up the value right here. So that is it for our first section of our cheats. The next ones. So for the next ones, we're gonna have basically this is just more player options. So first one is player XP, ammo and weapons, all those goodies. So infinite ammo, well, ammo in this game works kind of weird as well. Whenever you actually slash out the function for it to decrement, what ends up happening is that it actually adds to your ammo. So let me go and show you. So if you're gonna look at my max right now, it's 225. Well, if I go and shoot once, it gives me my ammo back. So basically that's just infinite. So it's gonna just keep giving your ammo back, and when you reload, we're gonna have the same amount right here. Next one is infinite ammo, no reload. So basically what this means is that your value will never change. So I can just keep doing this forever. Next one is COV weapons never overheat. I'm gonna go and enable infinite ammo script with this as well. So COV weapon doesn't overheat, which is good. So I can just keep shooting that forever. Now this one's instant level 57. Now I'm not gonna go test this and show you guys because I'm already level 57, but it does work. All you have to do is just enable the script and then kill an enemy, and then it'll instantly grant you level 57. Next one is super speed. So if we just go ahead and enable this, the game has speed. The game multiplier has increased, so it goes super fast. Next one is super slow speed. So it's basically slow motion. So we can just run around here. It's gonna be super slow. Next one is no recoil. Now this one can be a bit buggy. It's still in the works, but it works. I think about 110% of the time, so it's fine. So we're gonna let it enable. As you can see, now we don't have any recoil, which is great. Okay, so here we go and come into the finding options. So we can go and say player XP. So we're going to say find level. And for most of these cheats, you have to go in your inventory and out. So then we find our level. We can't change it, so this is why I added in this function to find XP value. So if I go ahead and go into inventory and then out of the inventory, then we now have our XP. So what's funny is if you go and see, I've made a little chart right here from XP values 1 or 10 through 57. I can do every level if you guys want me to, but yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and say, what if we wanted to be level 10? Whoops, we can go and copy in this value right here, put it in here, and then to get the level to update, you just gotta go in and out of your inventory, and then now we are level 10. So I'm gonna go and copy back this address because I don't want to be level 10. Like that, and then now we're back to level 57. Alright, I'm going to disable this. Next one is find ammo, max, and current. Now I've had a bit of trouble with getting this to work, but it now does work. So now you can go and change your maxes, or the max of your ammo. So say if you wanted to grenade max. So as you can see, our max grenades is 11. So whenever I try changing it to 12, it instantly goes back because the max is just pushing it down. But if we put the max to, I don't know, 30, and we put this to 12, now it'll let us do that. And if we even wanted to go to 30 like that, then it works perfectly, and we can just start throwing them. Or if you wanted to have just infinite grenades, you can just freeze your grenade amounts. And I don't want to kill myself. There we go. So yeah. If you do get this value, if this value does have trouble popping up, what I recommend you try doing is enable the health stats raw, and then get one of those values in here. Add the address manually. So I'll go and show you real quick. If this doesn't work, what I have a fix or a solution as is, let me go ahead and pull it up. So add the address manually of any value right here, and then it should fix that. So the next one is find held weapon stats. So we're gonna go ahead and go in here, and now we have. You might have to wait for a second for it to update. So say if I wanted to go over here, it'll take a second to update, just like that. And now we have our held weapon stats. So this is actually really good for. This is a really good solution to shooting as many projectiles out of the Iridium Fabricator as you want. So I think I might still have the Iridium Fabricator around me. Yeah, okay. So if I go and pull up the Iridium Fabricator right here, I'm gonna wait for the values to update real quick because it does take a second. All right, so once they do update, you can notice that we only shoot 10 projectiles. So if we go and shoot the Iridium Fabricator normally, you know, it just gives us a crappy amount of guns. Well, if we wanted to increase that, let's say to 100. Whoops. So 100, and now look what happens. A lot more guns shoot out, which is a lot better than having to fucking, you know, take forever for it it would be 10 times for it to shoot 100, or 10 times for it to shoot 100 guns. It only costs 10 iridium, which is great. So I want to go ahead and disable this. Next one is find health stats raw. Of course, this is just your health stats, everything about your health. So this is your max. So of course, if you really wanted to, you can go and change this to whatever number you want. I'm going to change this to 8. Okay, then we can just go ahead and just, actually, yeah, we can just change this to a high number, super high number, and it'll immediately put it there. And now you can see we have a ridiculous amount of health. If you wanted to just have infinite health without changing it, you can just go ahead and lock this value just by left clicking it, and then we will now have our max. Okay, so our next one is find shield stats raw. So we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. We're going to go and do that, and now we can go and change it. There's 2 things for this. It's the regen delay and regen amount. The only reason there was one for the health stats with the regen is because health is not supposed to regen unless you have ammo, or sorry, unless you have healing. So that's a little way you can get around it if you ever feel like it. You can just set the regen to a high amount and never have to change your health. So yeah. Okay, so if we want to go ahead and change our health max to a ridiculously high number, because this can go pretty high. You can see that's a really high number. So if we go and change the regen amount to a pretty high number as well, it starts to get increasingly higher. So if we just go ahead and make it a big number, it starts going faster. And if we wanted to add a couple more zeros on there, like that, it regens insanely fast. And let me go ahead and set this back to 2. I want to set this back to 2,000. If we wanted to just go ahead and say, let's go and set this back to 1. Regen delay, that's actually the delay of the time. So as you can see, it's not regenning right now, then it'll start regenning. So if I go and set this back to 1, and I set this to 0, it'll instantly start regenning. So whenever I just go ahead and say 1, it'll just start regenning as soon as I change that. Okay, so the next one is find Guardian rank, XP, and level. So for these values to pop up, what's strange about this is that you're gonna notice if we're not in the actual the menu of the Guardian rank, it'll pop up these values. Now the reason for that is because there's actually nothing happening on the screen that's dealing with these values. But if we go ahead and go onto our Guardian rank, then you can see that they now pop up. So if I wanted to change this to, I don't know, this sometimes will change. It's just a problematic value, so don't worry about it. So if we're going to change this to 100, then it will change to 100, of course. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take this off. Now this was, of course, like I said, this is just for research if you ever just wanted to mess with it. If you really wanted to, all you got to do is just shoot the gun once. It'll find the recoil value. You can lock it if you want. I mean, it basically just does the same thing if you lock it as the thing I did up here with the no recoil. That's about it. Now, here's my favorite part of my cheats, in my opinion. Lots of these. So, I really do want to make a Iridium Fabricator item pool, so you can just go ahead and shoot anything you want out of the Iridium Fabricator. So if you guys want me to make that, please just let me know in the comments. Or if you have any suggestions at all, just please let me know, and I'll try getting to work on those. So yeah, okay. So the next one is other options. Infinite vehicle boost amount. Of course, you already know what this does. Just go ahead and left click it, and then it'll give you infinite vehicle boost. Now, if we say free shop timer, I'm gonna go ahead and actually go to a shop. So if you go and enable that, what's gonna happen is, if you go ahead and go over to the shops, well, the time is not decreasing, which is great. If we go ahead and untoggle that, then it starts to decrease again. Next one is raw item data. So this one basically, this is probably one of my favorite cheats that I've ever made. It did take me a bit, but I finally got it working, and actually it's amazing. So if I go ahead and enable this, what this actually does is it serves as a tooltip pointer. If y'all know what a tooltip pointer is, it's basically just finding the address for everything, so you can edit it, just like what you would use for modding guns. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in here, and I'm gonna go and say, let's go and hover over this. Now we're gonna wait just a second. Actually, no, I think it already updated, but sometimes you'll have to just wait a couple of seconds for the actual item code to pop up. So this stuff over here. So if I go ahead and say find item base raw address, this is basically what you just use to copy in the code, or you take this code and then you paste it into the memory editor to edit items. So if you wanted to get that raw item data, you just have to wait a second and it'll automatically pop up. So if I wanted to get another one, say I wanted to edit this weapon or this weapon, let's go and wait for it to update. And then I think it already updated, but yeah, just take a second for it to update. And then you can go ahead and go on your merry way. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and disable this. Next one is find max inventory slots and bank slots. Another one of my favorite cheats that I've made. With this one, you can go into your inventory. You just have to go into your inventory where you have all of this, and it'll pop up your bank slots and your inventory slots. So if we go into here, actually, hold on, you might have to, maybe that's broken. I might have to fix that later, but yeah, it'll pop up all the it'll pop up the values. So if you wanted to change your inventory, you can go ahead and just say 100. Now, I may lag just a little bit because Borderlands 3 is terrible with interface. If I change this to 100, I don't know what happened. I may have to fix this, but yeah, okay. So I'm gonna have to go and fix that, but it is all good. So next one is find SDU amount. So with this one, it's a bit weird. I couldn't find a way to get it to all the values to pop up. So what I did was I ended up just making a cheat to where you just hover over the SDU and you change it to whatever amount you want. So if I hover over this one, 2, 10, and then 8. So if you wanted to make this, I don't know, for some odd reason, if you wanted just to make it 1. Right, here's 1. So if we just go ahead and come back in here, it's still 1, so you'd have to exit out, so the value would actually change. But yeah, so this one, find chords, is by far one of my most favorite cheats I've made. Besides these ones, I really like these ones, but this one is extraordinary because in this game, luckily, you can actually write to your coordinates. So if I wanted to just say, let's say I have a bunch of hotkeys right here that I've set up. So I have a couple of really cool ones. So if you're if you're in Covenant Pass and you hit F11, it'll take you to where the first cutscene plays. So like the first cutscene, and it has all the list of teleportations right here. So as it says, if I wanted to teleport up, I'll just do I'll just do numpad 7, and looky there, we are now above Sanctuary, and we can go and get out of the map with this. If you wanted to just go down as well, you just hit the key that it says, so 8 to teleport down, like that, and that's pretty cool. You can also, if you really wanted to, change the hotkeys for these. What you could do is you could just go right click, and then you can say set hotkeys, and then whatever hotkeys actually, hold on. No, okay, sorry, I had to go up here. So for the actual teleport chords themselves, you just go set/change hotkeys, and then you can go and change these hotkeys to whatever you want. If you do not have a numpad. Okay, so I'm gonna go and disable this, and now find shop timer. Actually, hold on, I'm gonna have to reload. Actually, no, I think it'll be fine. So yeah, find shop timer. As you can see, I'm gonna go ahead and get back my chords real quick. So I'm gonna go ahead and get through. There we go. Okay, so find shop timer. Now, say the shop's about to run out, and there's a really good item in there, supposedly. If we wanted to go ahead and set that to its max, we can go and put 1,200 in there. Of course, so if we go and put that in there, watch what happens. Instantly resets, which is great. So the next one is find mayhem level. Let's just go ahead. This go ahead as go ahead and finds your mayhem level, which is great. I mean, it doesn't really serve a purpose at the moment, but I thought it was cool to add it in. So yeah, the last one is find vehicle stats raw. Now you're gonna notice whenever you enable this, whenever you're not around your vehicle stats, it's gonna pop up your health. That's because they kind of share it, but I just decided to add it in for shits and giggles. So yeah. Next one is a couple of these I did get a bit of trouble working. By speed multiplier. Basically, what this means is just your speed in the game, but these are still tests. I was still working on this one. This one it was very hard for me to get working, and it still hasn't. So I'll try updating everything. I will get the bank fixed. Besides that, everything does work. And if something isn't working, make sure to reload out of the game and come back in, and then your cheats will work. If they're not, that means a update has fixed them, and I'm probably working on a current version or a new version for this. So yeah, hope everybody enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me how I did in the comments. If you have any complaints or questions, please let me know, and I'll talk to you all very, very soon. Goodbye.